Um, Good evening and welcome to day 2 of this webinar. So today we're just going to be putting everything together and helping you to make the right decision. So if you can say in one word what day 1 was like for you, what would it be? Drop it in the chat room. In one word, what was day 1 like for you? In one word. I'm in the chat room. In one word, what was day 1 like for you? Let's go to the chat room. In one word, what was day 1 like? Amazing. That's from Kamsi Ezedima. Impactful, gracious. It was impactful, gracious. Yes, different. Okay. I probably would like to know what different means, because different, it can be good different, it can be not so good different. All right, amazing, impactful, different. Can I see more people in the chat room? Transformative, highly thought-provoking, good different. Okay, already has cleared himself. Good different. Okay, all right. Can I take one more? Excellent, fantastic. Okay, mind-blowing. Okay, okay. So if the one was impactful, it was good, different, it was excellent, it was mind-blowing, I think you can almost guess what the 2 will be like, because we are living in a time where family dynamics are rapidly evolving. And I mean, from blended homes now to digital parenting and shifting gender roles to growing mental health awareness, dynamics are continuously changing. And as professionals, as caregivers, as intending professionals, it's no longer enough to rely solely on traditional models of family support. So my name is Juwon. I'll be your host this evening. I don't have much to do. I'll just quickly call on Mr. Onyekachi to give us a testimonial. Is Mr. Onyekachi on the call? Mr. Onyekachi. Is Mr. Onyekachi there? Okay. Looks like Mr. Onyekachi is not here. Okay, so if Mr. Onyekachi is not here, let me engage just a little more before we go into the session proper. So if first day was mind-blowing, if it was wonderful according to Zeria Matika, and if it was excellent, what decision have you made after the first day? What decision or decisions are you making right now? I'll take 1 or 2 persons. They can just, Adebola is saying it's high opening. Between yesterday and now, what decisions, what thoughts have been going through your head, and what decisions are you making? You can just raise your hand and then we will unmute, you will be asked to unmute, and then we'll take your thoughts so that you can share with us. Anybody? 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 I can't see any hand up. Okay, I see Korede's hand up. Please admit me, unmute Korede Temidayo Sholaja. All right, Korede.
Good
Shoot.
evening.
Hello, good
Good
evening.
evening.
One of the things that stood out for me from what PF said yesterday was that family life practice can be done rightly or wrongly, and that if you do it wrongly, you're causing more harm than good. So one of the decisions I made yesterday was to ensure that I do it the right way, get the right information, and attract the right people and influence the right way. So that was the decision for me.
Okay. To do it the right way, because I mean, you can actually do it the wrong way. I totally agree with you. Because in this line of work, in your bid to helping others, you can actually be pouring your biases on them. As in your own mindset is just what you are selling and you are not helping. So it's important. So fantastic contribution, fantastic takeaway you took from there. Okay, I can see Onyekachi now. I'll come to you shortly. Yes. Any other person wants to share what decisions they are making right now? Gloria said, I've decided to act now. Okay, well noted. I'll take one more person who is willing to speak. One more person who is willing to speak, and then I'll take Onyekachi's testimonial. Any other person? Any other person? You people are not making any decision yet after the first day. When will you make decisions? When will you make decisions? By now, and all of you are saying, I have decided. What have you decided? Eh? Because you'll be jamming, no turning back, no turning. What are you not turning back from? What are you decided? Share with us. One more person. Okay, since nobody is willing to share, let me come to Mr. Onyekachi. Onyekachi, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Coach Juwon,
Good evening, sir.
and good evening, House. My name is Onyekachi Favor, and I am one of the newly commissioned associate practitioners in
Awesome. I
FSEC.
like your introduction.
And let me say this, that before I came to FSEC, I was also certified by another platform, another house before now. So, but when I came to FSEC, it is a different ball game altogether. And I say it with all honesty and sincerity. You know, the other platform that I was, it was just the regular thing, teaching marriage courses. But when I came to FSEC, I found something, number one, organic, indigenous, and very practical, which I have started practicalizing, particularly the psychometric tests. I have carried out the psychometric test on some couples as part of the requirement for my commissioning as an associate practitioner. And after doing that, I asked one of the couples their feedback. How do they rate the diagnosis? And I said this with all honesty. The wife said that my diagnosis was 80% accurate, and the husband said that my diagnosis was 90% accurate to what they are going through.
Wow.
I have carried out this psychometric assessment on an intending couple on premarital basis, and they were so excited that I was on point with my diagnosis.
Wow.
Yesterday, I carried out this diagnosis on some set of people. With all honesty, one of them gave a feedback. Part of the feedback I got was one of them that says it was so insightful, impactful, and a totally an eye-opening dimension for her in the knowing herself, that is after the diagnosis, so that one can make informed choices and decisions when it comes to marriage and relationships. And she said that she is ready for other sessions, whether free or paid, that she's ready for other sessions, that it can be a series, that she's in for it. And and I say this not to flatter anybody. I say the truth, I lie not. Now, the Oyela is indigenous, it is organic, and it's practical, like I just said now. And I am grateful that I enrolled. Initially, I was a little bit skeptical, about the cost. But once I made a commitment, and as I'm talking to you now, I have finished making my payment. I recommend this particular FSEC to everyone who is on ground, who is on board, and let every of your fears and every of your doubts be quenched. Just come on board. You will be well dazzled, well dazed. You will be taken to a different platform altogether. As far as number one, the tools I have now, I have practiced it on the singles. I have practiced it on a premarital set of people, a young boy and a young girl, and I have practiced it on couples of who have been married across board. Early marriage, 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, and there is even more than 20 years, and the feedback has been the same, that this is practical, insightful, and their need, their present state were accurately diagnosed. And now that I'm doing pro bono, I told them the only way they can pay is more referral. And by the grace of God, they are coming. I want to say a big thank you to Good Junwo.
The money is coming.
A big thank you. Yes, with money. Yes. I want to say a big thank you to FSEC, the administration, the body. I want to say a big thank you to Coach Praise for Owe, who God used to put this together. And I want to say, everyone, welcome on board. You are in for an exciting times. You are in for something real, something organic, something indigenous that is global at the same way, because in my set, we have people from all over the world, UK, South Africa, Zambia, and the testimony is all the same.
Wow.
Thank you. I wholeheartedly recommend it as somebody who has practiced marriage and who has been in marriage.
Thank you so much.
From other platforms, but I'm saying what I've experienced from other platforms is nothing compared to what I've experienced here. Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Onyekachi. After all the diagnosis you have done for these people, they should give you PhD. You are now Dr. Onyekachi. I will tell PF now that you are now fully doctor. I'm just saying diagnosis. Thank you, Dr. Onyekachi. Thank you for what you're doing. This should be a quote, because you said it's indigenous, it's organic, and it's practical. That's a quote we are going to assign to you. Indigenous, organic, and practical. Thank you very much for sharing your testimony with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me read a few comments I have here. Somebody said, I've decided to be a family lifer. Another person said, I have made up my mind to make a profession, not just for free, and also certify myself. And when I saw that, it caught my attention because I checked in and I saw Pastor Roslin. If Pastor Roslin is saying, I'm no longer doing this thing for free, then it's a serious matter. Because you know how our people can be. Because you're a pastor, they expect that the service should be free of charge. And they are not supposed to. I mean, it's just an entitlement that it's God that gave you. You should be able to give it freely. But pastor is saying one of the decisions that she's making is to make it a profession and not just for free. Amazing, amazing feedback so far. So if you're still on the not decided lane, better be changing your lane right now. So without much ado, let me just quickly let's go into the meat of the matter for today. And let's go into today's main session. Today's main session is going to be taken by our Director of Studies, the Queen of Happiness and Human Flourishing, my very, very personal friend and sister who likes to dance and who likes to bragado for some of us. The wife of one husband and a woman who I'm going to add to her title now, who likes to kiss her husband I like to carry the camera around there because I know a kiss will show up. So please help me welcome Coach Dimma Nwobi for today's main session.
Do you want to take that name again? We were at the conference. My name is not
Dim. Welcome, Coach Chidimma Nwobi for today's main session.
Better.
Thank you.
Yes, so we are. Thank you so much, Jumo, for that introduction. And thank you, everyone who is here, everyone who joined from day one. So let's just start the conversation this way. I listened to Onyekachi share his testimonial, and I want to ask us. Yesterday, PF ended the class by giving you an assignment. So we need to run those because I need us to be out of here by 9 p.m. with that Nigerian time. So don't be waiting if I ask question or to be waiting for your ancestors to answer. You answer, you are a somebody. So talk to me. How did it feel writing your personal commitment statement? And did you come to that realization of what is limiting your capacity to do this business? I'll take 2-3 people who want to share. How did this exercise go for you? You ended yesterday by PF asking you to write a personal commitment statement to yourself for the future of your family life practice, the value you will bring and how much you will get paid. And also to reflect on what is limiting your capacity to operate at the highest level and what you're going to do about it. Anyone? If you want to share on that, please put up your virtual hand or come to the chat room and let me know what you have done. Because we are raising a new set of Africans, one of the things that breaks my heart, and I try not to do as much as possible, is gather people and they spend their time. I mean, you spent 2 hours yesterday, you're going to be spending another 2 hours. That's 4 hours of your God-given time. And if we check 24 hours a day, the active times we have in a day is about 8 hours or so that you can do productive work. So if for 2 days you are going to spend half, 1/4 of your productive time, and you are not taking action, I'm sorry, but you just wasted another productive time you would have used for something else. So talk to me. Somebody said I felt rejuvenated. Who else? And I want to hear you share your experiences before I move on. Again, you could either be sharing on this, or you could also be sharing on what PF asked you to do. When he took you through a belief change, to take you away from that belief that has held you captive, that is limiting you, he also asked you to do something daring, do something audacious, do something differently to rewire the new belief that you're taking. So is either you want to share with me what daring thing have you done from yesterday to today to rewire your new belief? What is limiting your capacity and what are you going to do about it? And how did you feel writing your personal statement? So Gracious said, I felt rejuvenated. And Gracious is the only one that is audacious enough to answer my question. So I guess that takes us to day 2. Everything, and you can tweet this or write it anywhere or stamp it somewhere that you can see it every day. What stands between you and the results you can possibly create in the family life space is the distance between you and audacity. The people making money, the people changing lives in the family life space do not have two heads. They were not born on a unique day. God distributes his graces, his mercies, his talents, his enablements, whatever you choose to call it, freely across all of humanity. The distance between where you are and where you ought to be in the family life space is audacity. And today, you have also demonstrated it by this little exercise. So, the best way to predict the future is to create it. If you cannot see where you are headed to, you may not even have the resources. And I start first by the personal agency to get there. Because it is not from the seen, but from the unseen. Because once you are comfortable with the unseen, you can create the seen. And that's why we gave you that exercise. If you are still comfortable with your comfort zone, if you are still dilly-dallying, if you are not even audacious enough to do an exercise that will showcase for you where the gaps are in your practice, in your life, in terms of this field, you're going to remain there, and next year, you will still be at the same exact spot you are, because nothing changes if you don't make the move. And the change starts from honest review. So it wasn't for lack of an exercise. It wasn't because we needed to fill in the day that you were given that closing exercise yesterday. And so my question is, are you the stumbling block of the change, of the person, of the kind of impact, of the kind of influence, and the kind of income that is possible for you in this field? So we're moving to section 4. Yesterday, PF took you through several sessions, and I guess you have been thinking, what are those new rules of family life practice? What do I need to put in place for my family life practice to produce transformational results? Let's take them one after the other. The first rules of a transformative family life practice is the law of borderlessness. The law of borderlessness. If you listen to Onyekachi, he said that in his class, he had participants from across the world, different African countries, people living in diverse places across the 7 continents of the world. So if you're going to activate a transformational family life practice, you must be able to work with clients from everywhere in the world. The tools that you use for your practice is not just something that is applicable to the people from your tribe. Your tools should not only be applicable to the people in your religious circle. Your tools should not only be applicable to the people in your generation. If currently your tools cannot apply to Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen X, Gen Boomer, then it means that you have not activated borderlessness. If you are speaking right now and somebody from Asia is wondering, what's this person talking about? Because all what you are saying is just limited to what happens under the minute border of your village, of your town, then you are not ready for a 21st century family life practice. If all of the tools you have, the quotes you have, the insights you have are based only on what your religion teaches, which of course again are principles, but many of us are so comfortable with quoting them rather than turning them into systems and strategies. I was speaking to someone once and he was shocked when I said to him, Are you aware that if you have read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families by Steve Covey, you have actually come face to face with the principles, the mammons, because those 7 habits that Stephen Covey put in that book are the principles that guide the religious sects, the mammons. But nowhere did he mention about his church. Nowhere did he tell you that the founders brought these principles. But these fundamental principles continue to guide millions of us every day, the law of borderlessness. So my question is, with what you're doing right now, what tools do you have? Can you deploy the tools to somebody in America and the person can actually relate and get the results? Can you deploy your tools to somebody in the village of Afghanistan and the person can find expression? If you can do that, it means that you are yet to activate that fundamental law of borderlessness, because we live in a global village right now, that there are tools that can help you meet anyone anywhere. But the question is, can those tools transform life? And in FSC, we have gathered tools that can help you work with any generation, work with any person across anywhere in the world. The second rule of transformational family life practice is the law of accurate and speedy diagnosis. Not only should your diagnosis be accurate with very minimal room for error, it should also be speedy. Gone are the times, because each day the concentration span, the attention span of everyone is reducing. Gone are those days where somebody has issues and they come to you and then you are spending 3 hours just listening to the person rant and rave around what is happening. My husband and I did that. My son did this. I did this. Even after the 3 hours of long story, you now start your own long story of another 3 hours. That is the quickest way to drain. That is the quickest way to giving up on this work. Because how many long stories can you listen to in a day? How many long stories can you listen to in a week? And it's not just about the length of the stories. It is that after the person has spent this long time with you, ranting and ranting and ranting, at the end of the time, when they step away from you, they are wondering, am I any better? Aside from the fact that I got an opportunity to just pour myself out, do I even have an understanding of what is happening and what's the way forward? Yesterday, I put out a post on social media and I was saying that there are 2 classes of marriage coaches and they are all denoted by what I call the PF. And I'm not talking of PF of Praise for Wowe. I'm talking that there are 2 broad categories. Number 1 is the passionate, frustrating coach, where the person does not have tools that helps them to work. So the people that come to them spend time talking and then there is no result. And so the client is living frustrated. The coach is also living frustrated because they spent their time, they didn't get any results, they are losing their confidence, they are even about to pack up the practice. Yet, the person is still passionate because passion is not enough. And I dare say that anyone who is stepping into the family life practice with only passion should step aside, because you can passionately frustrate the people that come to you. The second type of family life practitioners are the passionate, fulfilling ones. Those that are passionate, yes, but when they meet with clients, the clients leave that place feeling fulfilled. the coach himself leaves the session feeling fulfilled. Why? Because they were able to do meaningful work. And the meaningful work starts with the accurate and speedy diagnosis. So it's not enough to have the tools to assist your clients. It's not enough to have experience. In fact, experience, personal experience in family life is the lowest level of qualification for any work. Because nobody goes into the medical field because I've experienced childbirth, so I can help to deliver people. You are rigorously trained for years to qualify. So the speed and accuracy of your diagnostic tools makes a world of difference. So if you don't yet have those tools that makes it able for you to diagnose what is happening with your client, then you are in the right place tonight. Number 3, the law of motion sensitivity. Motion, movement, sensitivity. Because in the past, clients come to you, but in this age, you must master the tools that enable you to go and live with them. Intentional signaling. I get people coming to me to say, oh, coach, how do I recruit clients? How are people making money from this practice? How do I get people to sign up with me? If I take this training, will I be able to make money? I have done some certifications, but yet I am not making money from it. It is because your motion sensitivity is very low. You are waiting for people to seek you out. Let me tell you something, and I say that with every sense of seriousness. For you to have a transformational family life practice, certification is not enough. You need to be able to show what you can do publicly, and there are rudiments for it. Right now, if I do an audit of your social media pages, if I do an audit of the time that you have spent with the circles you have spent time with in the last 1 month, let's start with online, then we'll go to offline. If I go to your social media page now, what digital footprints will I see? What intentional signaling will your page show me? What will make me know that this person is a master in the family life space that I should talk to? Because guess what? The best-selling books, the best-selling authors are not necessarily the people who wrote the most transformational book. The best-selling authors are the best marketing, intentional signaling authors. You can write the best book and it will die on your shelf if you are not intentionally signaling. You can be the most passionate person on family life space, that each time you see a marriage working, your heart touches the heavens. It doesn't matter if you're not signaling intentionally. You can stay in the comfort of your room. You can stay in your WhatsApp groups and be making noise, complaining that, oh, social media is that. Oh, this person does not even know what I know. You can talk for all you care. It is the person who is intentionally signaling that closes the deals. How many people in your office know that you are a passionate family life person? When they are looking for somebody to speak with regards to marriage and family, 10 times, how many times in the 10 times will the person in your network recommend you? That already tells you your blueprint. You are not intentionally signaling. So the law of motion sensitivity is, how do I live in the minds of the people? How do I make myself so visible and relevant that if somebody is thinking this, they are thinking Chidinma Nwobi, they are thinking your name. I can't begin to tell you the many numbers of people that gravitate to the work that I do because of my intentional signaling. Anywhere you encounter me, you must notice that I give out the vibes that marriage is to be enjoyed. So if you want anything that has to do with marriage in the sense of not just a duty, but an enjoyable thing, you will not think of 3 people if you know me without calling my name. Because it is intentional to position not only that marriage is a nation building tool, it is also the greatest, one of the most intimate sources of joy and fulfillment. So what are you signaling? And why would somebody want to do this business with you? Some of the times we think it is in the seriousness of the post that we do. Oh, I need to teach like this person. I need to speak like this person. Let me tell you something. Your sheep will hear your voice and they will follow you. The uniqueness of you, uniqueness of your expression is second to none. So if you are thinking, oh, I need to speak like Praise Fowowe so that I can be an authority on the field, you will be a confused clone of Praise Fowowe, and the people you are speaking to will never gravitate towards you because nobody wants a fake. Everybody deserves an original. Let's move on to the next. The law of constant and never-ending improvement. I get some people, when I'm speaking around, oh, you need to update your curriculum for what you're doing in the marriage space, whether it be premarital, whether it be marriage enhancement, whether it be children ministry, whatever it is. And they're like, oh, the curriculum we're using was created by our founding fathers. No disrespect to your founding fathers, but a curriculum created 50 years ago is obsolete. A curriculum created 25 years ago is obsolete. I don't know. Find me other synonyms for obsolete. It's out of date. Because every day, fresh research emerges in family science. Are there principles from your 50-year-old curriculum that still stand? Yes, but there are different nuances of things. So if you are stuck in the past, you cannot be reckoned with in today's family life space. Because check it, the rate of new information these days is faster than usual. And you alone cannot even do all the research that is required. You will burn out. So what makes you that person that still has access to a constant, never-ending improvement is the community that you belong to. The community where there are different equipped people churning out insights. People dedicated to research, doing this research, bringing out the results and sharing. People with the skills, creating templates, frameworks that you can have access to. Belonging to a community where you can tap into the innovative tools that is outside of yourself. I was teaching a class on Wednesday, and I was talking about medical checks that should be taken before marriage. I was teaching a premarital coach training class. And then after I finished talking about the different tests, one of the participants put up her hand and she said, "Oh, Ma, there is one test that new research is showing should be included in premarital medical checks." And it was talking about something that had to do with, I can't remember the name now. Sciatica atrophy test or something. And then I allowed her to speak. And after she finished speaking, I went on to do a research on it. So imagine if I was there thinking, I've done all of the research. I am up to date with all the pre-medical checks that somebody should take. It took belonging to a community and somebody bringing that to my notice. Now we are updating the premarital medical checks based on that. So you can't do family life work alone because you cannot keep up with the pace of the information that is needed to remain relevant. But let's even leave the community alone. For those of us that are here, whether you are actively already in the family life space, maybe you are working it from your faith-based organization, you have a practice already. In the last 6 months, let me not even make it 3 months. In the last 6 months, what new learning have you learned in your practice? And I'm not necessarily talking about a certification program, but what new learning have you learned in your practice? Whether in terms of the transformational work you do with your clients, in terms of how to project your work, in terms of how to measure your improvement, what new learning have you gotten? Because if you're not learning, your capacity to destroy lives is on an increase. They work hand in hand. They work, will I say, inversely. You stop learning, your capacity to mess up the lives of the people who come to you. Because when you put yourself out as a family life practitioner, what you are saying to the universe is, I am equipped to save lives. I am equipped to give people clarity. I am equipped to help people do marriage right, do family right. And so when the people come to you, they are banking on that. But yet, when they come to you and you yourself, you are stuck in the past, you mess up lives. So in this new age, you cannot be relying on a curriculum that was created years ago. You cannot be in the family life space and not be open to continuous and never-ending improvement. And as I said, you cannot access all of the learnings alone because it is too vast that only you cannot make it. That is why you need a community. The law of audacity. And that was how I started my presentation tonight. See, and I say this as somebody that has been active in the family life space for 18 years and counting. Everybody, and you can underline that you see making impact in the family life space is running Operation Test and Tweak. Yet, nobody waits till the idea is fully formed. Many of you would have been miles away in this family life practice if you took action on that first idea that dropped in your mind. But you stayed with it. You wanted it to be perfect. You wanted to be sure to do all the things. You wanted to, and you were, have you ever had a thought of something to do? And you were dilly-dallying. You were crossing the T's. You were dotting the I's. And then you wake up one fateful morning and you see somebody doing something that looks like that thought that you had 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Some other person is running with it. It is because ideas are placed on a frequency. God scatters ideas across the universe. It is the person who responds to it with enough audacity that takes the space in the value chain. I'm going to spend some time here because if you catch the law of audacity, your life will never remain the same after tonight. You think that when we started family systems engineering, we have all of the T's crossed and all of the I's dotted? You think that that person that you are admiring, their work and their position, doesn't have doubts? Hasn't launched a product that did not sell? Did not have a time when the only person who showed up in the class was one participant? Have not gone to God and say, are you sure you called me? Because I don't understand what's happening here. Only the audacious can experience scaling. Only the audacious can see growth. And that is what makes the difference. I say to my mentees, imperfect starts are much better than keeping your ideas on your tablet, on your journals. Start imperfectly. What's the audacity you have? How do you show up and speak with boldness? Are you aware that people who offer the oldest profession in the world, prostitution, are boldly on social media selling prostitution, saying, chat me on this number. If you want just touch, this is the price. If you want start to finish, this is the price. If you want to do with condom, this is the price. If you want to do without condom, this is the price. Boldly. Yet, you have a message that is capable of changing lives. And you are there thinking, I can't speak English. There's a lady that all she speaks is a vernacular, but she is selling a market. Oh, I don't have the perfect lighting. You don't need light to broadcast any message. Oh, which cloth will I wear? Choose one cloth and wear it every day. That will even add to your branding. Once they just see you on that white t-shirt, they know it is you. You think those comedians that are wearing one cloth, you have cloth more than them? So every excuse you have made so far is because you have not activated the law of audacity. PF showed you yesterday the different openings in the value chain in the family life space. Which value chain do you want to walk in? And what is holding you back to date? I repeat, the distance between where you are and where you can ever be in this industry is the distance between you and audacity. Which of these rules do you think you need to activate in your practice? Is it the law of borderlessness that has kept you here? Are you not confident of yourself because you don't really know if the tools you have can work? You don't really know if you have what it takes to make it happen. You don't even know, can any other person get the results? I'm going to share with you tools that can increase your borderlessness. Or is it the law of accurate and speedy diagnosis? Are you overwhelmed with having to even understand what is happening with the person you work with? With the Oyela tools in FSC, you can accurately diagnose what is happening with your clients. You heard Onyekachi talk about it. Is this what you need to activate? Or is it the law of motion sensitivity? How do I do this signaling? What am I even signaling, self, if I'm not sure that I know what I'm doing? How do I even cleanse my digital space? Maybe you have been signaling wrongly. Maybe when I go to your page, all I see is Igbos fighting Hausas. Political party do one thing to the other one. Davido versus Wizkid. Man U versus Arsenal. I'm not saying that is not okay. It is your lifestyle. But then, what other intentional signaling are you giving? You can still cleanse your digital footprints. What of constant and never-ending improvement? Or you took that one course, that one certification, you say, I don't learn finish. No, is that where the gap is for you? Or could it be the law of audacity? And this law of audacity is linked to what we discussed yesterday. Because if you are still trapped by limiting beliefs of not good enough, I can't make money from this, who am I to teach anybody? What do I know? Have I fixed my own marriage that I'm looking to fix another person? If those beliefs are still holding you, you can't activate audacity. So even activating audacity is you confronting your limiting beliefs and changing them. So talk to me. Which of these rules do you think you need to activate? Okay, so I see the law of audacity, the law of borderlessness, the law of audacity, law of audacity. Is it me? But this your team is, this your class is not very communicative. I usually get people, talking, sharing, dropping in the comment section. But I'm seeing only 6 comments. So the rest of us, what's happening? Are you still in the reflective mood? Or you are just like this woman, talk, and just show us the blueprints. Let's be going. Corey, there is God that saved you, that you typed. Because I'm looking at you and I'm like, it's only your face I'm seeing. And I have been speaking for minutes and you are just looking. If to say type now, I for just close your camera and replace you with somebody else so that I'm sure that the person looking at me is hearing what I'm saying. Okay, law of audacity, law of audacity, law of borderlessness. Okay, let's move the conversation. So my question for you is, do you want to become the competent family life professional that the world needs? They are footballers, and there is Messi. They are footballers, and there is Ronaldo. I don't know if you get that. They are not the only ones that play football. Why is it then we are always raving about? Why can't we even forget this Ronaldo or even Messi? It is because they are footballers and there is Messi. They are footballers and there is Ronaldo. So even in the family life space, somebody said to me, Dima, this family life space is crowded though. You go to social media, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a marriage coach. Any small thing, they'll say marriage advice, marriage advice. Do you know that relationship remains still one of the most profitable sectors in the education sphere? Any education, information-related business, relationship still remains one of the top 3. So even in the crowded markets, there are family life practitioners, and there is the competent family life practitioner that people gravitate to. Just like there are footballers, and there is Messi, and there is Ronaldo. So do you want to be Ronaldo of family life? Do you want to be the Messi of family life? Let me take you through a journey that can make that possible. Okay, so let's go. When it comes to doing transformational work in the family life space, you don't just see people, they come and tell you stories, and you begin to give advice. A transformational family life practitioner is not an advisor. You don't give advice. So there's these 3 things I need you to keep in mind. That is what can change the dynamics for you. You want to be able to troubleshoot, have tools and systems in place that helps you to troubleshoot your clients, to know what's happening with these people. Why are they acting this way? Why is this problem showing up for them? Why is this happening? What do they need to know? What is going on? I mean, how many people go to hospitals, and I mean real hospitals, and you come to the doctor and you complain of what is happening to you, and immediately the doctor will just say, you know what? Take this prescription. Except you are going to a quack doctor, or you are just merely visiting those people who sell drugs that are not even trained. What the person would likely do with you is to troubleshoot. Maybe ask you some questions, maybe get you to do some blood work, maybe get you to do some tests, and based on the result of your test, they will now interpret in alignment with what you have told them and the questioning they have done and the result of your test to now interpret what may be happening to you, and then they will now recommend treatment. That's like what the family life space is. We are doctors, doctors of the heart, doctors of human behavior. And so in the FSC approach, we take you through a system where you are able to troubleshoot. Then based on the results of your troubleshooting, you interpret the results to yourself, to the person, and to their partners. So imagine that you're working with a client and it's a couple, and you do the troubleshooting, and then you get your results from it, and you are interpreting. There are 3 levels of awareness that this tool gives you. 1, awareness to the subject matter, maybe the husband, so that he understands himself, understand why he's acting this way, understand why he's behaving this way, understand why he's struggling to do the things he wants to do, understand what is making the result in his family like this. That's level 1 awareness. Level 2 awareness is to the partner of the husband, the wife. Because based on your troubleshooting and your analysis, the wife understands her husband better. Understand why the husband is doing what he's doing, why he's struggling to do the things she wants him to do, why their marriage is the way it is. 2nd level awareness. 3rd level awareness is for you, the practitioner working with them. Because if you don't understand your client, you cannot help them. You can't give recommendations to every man because they are all men. It won't work. There are no general recommendations for men. You make recommendations based on the man that is before you, based on who he is, based on his upbringing, based on what has formed him, based on who he is currently. So you could have 5 men that come to you and the same problem of communication. What you do with man A may be different with what you do with B, C, D, E, because these 5 men are 5 different people raised by different parents, grew up in different environments, have been dealt with in life by different hands. So it's not enough to say, this is how men communicate. So this is what I need you to do to communicate better. You will not get the change you want. So the 3rd level of awareness is for you, because you need to know who you are working with to be able to make tailored recommendations to them. And if your practice currently does not have the tools that help you to troubleshoot and interpret the results to these 3 different levels of awareness, that's going to change after tonight. And so based on your interpretation, you now have to build systems for them, to make recommendations for them, to design interventions for them, to coach them based on who they are, to coach them based on whatever you have deduced. But guess what? Even at the time of the interpretation and these 3 levels of awareness, change has already started. Because now the person understands, oh, I've been thinking I am so hard to learn. Now I understand why I struggle with intimacy. Maybe it's because I didn't have that representation of it. Now the woman is like, oh, I just thought that this man was difficult. He's just making life difficult for me. It's not about you. It's because he has not been taught around. He has not been taught. So he's not acting it out of wickedness. He's actually ignorant. And then you, the practitioner, also gets the awareness, and then you can build tools. So because self-awareness is the start of any transformation. And if you don't have the process in your practice that brings these levels of awareness, you need to not walk away tonight. You need to get this awareness. Otherwise, you will continue to produce the same level of mediocre results that you have been producing. Obi asked a question: how do I navigate showing up and being a competent family life coach as a divorcee? Thank you, Obi, for asking that. Family life practice is a profession. So let me twist this your question a bit. Imagine that a doctor was helping to deliver a child, and the process of the delivery of that particular child got complicated and probably the child died. Does that take away the license of the doctor for future deliveries? No. That's number one. I ask you another question. Imagine that a doctor, a cardiologist, is dealing with smoking addiction, but he's a well-trained cardiologist. Will the Society of Cardiologists take away his license to work with people because he's smoking? But you know that smoking is not good for the heart. The second question is no, right? So it is because society has not... Lara, when you say it affects his work, how do you mean? There could be complications in delivery that is not actually out of his negligence. So it may not necessarily affect his work. All right? Because society does not know that family life practice is a profession. You need to distinguish that. It is not I love families. That's why I have been so hard on religious organizations to say, you don't admit somebody in the marriage unit of your church simply because they've been married for years. That is no qualification to be in your marriage unit. You don't work with people in marriage unit because you have been married. That does not qualify you. Marriage coaching, marriage counseling is a profession. And so if you recognize that it's a profession, there are basic qualifications. Nobody is given a license to operate as a doctor because you like lives. You like saving lives. It doesn't happen. You need to go through the rigorous training, your general training, you do your house job, you come for your specialization, you do your residency before you can even become a consultant. It's the same thing. So it is because the people in society need to be schooled. Even a single can offer effective family life coaching because there are dynamics for family life coaching that can be learned and taught. It has nothing to do with your personal experience. So whether you are single, whether you are married and your marriage is shaking, whether you are divorced, whether you are widowed, if you submit to the process of learning the rudiments of effective family life practice, you can function as a family life practitioner. So I hope I answered that question. And it's the law of audacity that can activate this. Because you might come out and they say, oh, this one that the marriage did not work. You have to be audacious and show your results. We've had people, singles, till date, we still have singles in the network that are doing amazing work. Because family life is not about you. Your experiences are valid, but your experiences are not universal. You are not even coming to family life space to tell people how you are doing family life with your husband. That's immaterial, because the men out there are not my husband. I am not even all the women out there. So if I'm saying, oh, Dima and Neduma are doing this, if there are no systems to it, if there is no psychological tracing of it, if it cannot be replicated and taught, then it's immaterial if it's working for us, because we are just two very tiny people in a population of 7.7 billion human beings. Okay. So let me take you through a simple chart, how we get results. Lara is not even in our country. That's the education we should change. Everywhere, we should see family life as a practice. And that's what we're changing within the institute. We have people that are divorced and are doing amazing work. People with blended families, people all over the place. So even the education starts from our country. The narrative starts here. And I'm charged, so this is not, I'm not with our faith-based people, so let me not talk to them. Let's stay where we are. Because it's how society treats it that makes it look like they're incompetent. So let's get into the results framework. What's our goal? Our goal is to raise a healthy society by producing competent family life practitioners who can assist couples across different cultures and build a sustainable family system that works. That's our goal. That's why we have gathered you here. That's why we're seeking to partner with you to make this goal come to life. But there are different ways that we get that result. So we start from our strategic objective. We get the practitioners, first of all, to experience a personal wholeness so that they are able to assist others. Because you can't give what you don't have. And I'm not just talking about you giving what your marriage. I'm saying you as a whole person. if you're already changing yourself, if you are second guessing yourself, if you're already counting yourself unworthy, if there are things around your life that you feel that you need to work on to release the full potential of you, this system helps to address that. Then we begin to help you master the power of meaning. What's the power of meaning? How does meaning change the narrative? How does meaning either suck away our power or give us power? And you begin to learn how to live above stress and external aggression. Then the practitioners themselves discover how you yourself was engineered. You discover your own patterns so that you can be a better person. That's the first thing we do in achieving this, our goal of raising competent family life practitioners. With you as a work in progress, we move on to the second level. The second level is where the practitioners are able to professionally profile and diagnose client cases and write reports. So we give you tools that can help you do a root cause analysis to understand where this person is coming from, what has formed this person this way. Because see, every one of us was created out of love. We were created pure, innocent. We were created as people after the image and likeness of God, irrespective of the dynamics of how we were born. So it means that everything we have become was learned. The way you communicate, you learned how to communicate that way. Even though most learning was unconscious. The way you love right now, you learned how to love that way. Either as a coping mechanism or because you first had people who showed you how to love, even without telling you. Everything you're doing now was learned. So it means that if there is anything you are doing now that you don't like, or that is upsetting the system in your home, you can unlearn it. But it starts first of all by understanding, how did I become this person that I am now? From when I was born till now. What has happened in my life that has made me who I am? Is this the real me? Or is this just the pseudo me? The personality I'm showing to people as a way to cope? Or do people, when they meet me, do they really meet the real Chidinma? Or is this a facade? If you are able to get hands on those tools, you can profile your clients and you can also understand what's happening. Then we teach you how to write reports. Just like you go for your medical tests and they give you a comprehensive report. Oh, your blood level is between this and this. This shows this and this. There are indices like that. We have report templates that shows you, oh, based on your personality, this and this, based on this, this and this, based on your responses to this questionnaire, this is where your marriage is. Is either your marriage is in coma, or is in threshold, or is in average, or is in good, or is in great, or is in bliss. And there are different recommendations based on where your marriage is. So that's why I say, if you don't have the law of speedy and accurate diagnosis, you will be doing mediocre job. Because based on just that marital health assessment, the recommendations for somebody whose marriage is in coma, definitely you know that when somebody is in coma, the treatment will not be the same as when somebody is in threshold. But what tools do you have to even know that? So the practitioners, after diagnosing what is happening with their client and writing reports, you are able to move away from subjectivity. You are not just imagining. You're not just saying, oh, because he's a Yoruba man, maybe that's why he's acting this way. Because he's an Igbo man, and Igbo men do this, that's why this is happening. Oh, because the woman has more degrees than the husband, you have real data to back up whatever you're doing. So you don't now just give subjective advice. You are working more from a scientific-based approach. Because you now get to understand the different personalities of the people you are working with. You also understand what triggers them. What is causing this marital crisis? Is it ignorant of self? Is it ignorant of spouse? Is it ignorant of the building blocks of marriage? Is it ignorant of the enemies of the relationship? Is it ignorant? What is it? Because at the root level, every marital crisis is a result of ignorance. But you need to know what is the ignorance about. Then, when you are able to now profile your client, you are able to independently analyze and prefer solutions. Because now you understand the root cause, you understand the origin of the people's problem, and you now have a broader perspective to family life and knowledge gaps. Because people are perishing in marriage for lack of knowledge. But they don't even know the knowledge that they are lacking. So when you make your professional diagnosis, you will see where the gaps are, so that you can now make adequate recommendations that fill that gap. And then it brings us to the next level. With all of this that is going on, that you are able to understand and profile, you can now build systems and in your practice, and then you can be more professional in your work. That you, as Korede, may be working with a client, and you get to a point where you feel that there are more advanced work to do with this client that probably your current skill set will not permit you to do, or needs more professional work. I always will go back to the medical field. You could be working with a doctor, but then he refers you to another doctor, maybe for higher work or for other nuances of the work that is not within his own professional training, right? And what does he do when he does that? He attaches your results or your lab result and makes a case note and sends you off to the other doctor. And the doctor can see your case file, see the test you did, read the case notes, and can begin to now work with you on that particular area where you were referred to him. That's the same thing that works if you are in a professional field. Because you could be working with a client and then need to make a referral. If you are in the system, you can refer the person to another person in the system who can continue the work from where you stop, because they understand the profiling you have done. They understand the diagnosis you have done. They understand everything that you have done up to that moment that is now needing this specialized treatment. That's what we're building for Africa and the world. Because sometimes people just wing it. You're working with somebody, they have a nuance or problem in their sex life. You don't know jack about sex therapy. But you just be telling them, change your style. Maybe today you should stand in front. Maybe tomorrow you should stay from behind. Meanwhile, you don't even know the rudiment of sexual personality classes. But in the network, we have people that are certified sex therapists that you can make referral to, and they will work on them on that specialized case. So that you're not just doing trial and error. Your client is getting real-time value for the work. That's what happens when you belong to a network of professionals who understand the same language. Then practitioners are able to clearly decipher how systems work and to build counter systems. I will show you a little bit of a system building template in a bit. Of course, it helps you to understand concepts and systems that are responsible for societal decadence, including errors, assumptions, and culture. Now, with this framework, you can participate in conversations on adolescence, on family as a nation building tool, on whatever it is, because you have richer concepts. You don't just come and say, oh, this generation of people is because our mothers no longer stay in marriages. The older mothers stayed in marriages. It's because women are now seeking equality and blah, 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 blah. Oh, the children is modern age children. We should go back to how we parented and blah, 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 blah. You would not just be speaking, you will be preferring solutions that make sense, that can be presented globally, because it is based on a scientific approach. You are not just blabbing. So that is the FSC results framework in a nutshell. So like I said, I'm trying to still give you more background to it. So you have comprehensive assessments that you deploy to accurately diagnose what the real issues are. You have a review session to clarify any challenges. After you have sent them their report, we'll also train you on how to have your debriefing review session with them. What are you checking? How do you get them to understand this report? And then you can now design your coaching sessions with them based on the results and based on the conversation you have with them. Which was why I was saying that data has consistently shown that at the root of many marital crises is either ignorant of self. So how do you help to clear this ignorance? How do you help the person to move from a trauma-induced personality to their real personality? Or ignorance of spouse. I'm in love, but you don't even know the person that you are loving. You don't even know if you fell in love with the right person or if you were love bombed. Do you know that you can fall in love with a fake person? Because even the person does not even know that the side they are presenting to you is their fake self, because they themselves are not even sure of who they are. Or ignorance of marriage, ignorance of building techniques, and ignorance of marital enemies. You will encounter this ignorance treatment in FSC. So this is one template. Helping people build their dream team. In FSC, we have done research and we have come out with different marital formations, the different marital formations that people play. But then you can help them design a dream template, starting with their talent as the goalkeeper. So this is more like a football team. See the goalkeeper there. And then who are their defenders? Their values and their vision. I hope I still understand my football well. These are where are my football people? These people, are they the wingers? Shebina winger, would they call them left back? Tell me, purpose and skill, who are they? Left back, right and left back. I used to be a football fan before many things happened, but I'm still a football fan. Don't worry, I was just trying to make sure that you are following me.
Before you started kissing.
Talent. Who is that? Left and right back. Calm down. Let me just tell you. I wanted to be sure that you are here. The goalkeeper is the talent. And we did not place these things haphazardly. It's not for lack of. It's because there is a strategy to it. The talent is the goalkeeper. Then the main defenders are the values and vision, because that is what will defend the family. After everything, the values is the building block. The vision is who they want to be. Then the right and left back are your purpose and your skill. Then we see the midfielders, central midfielders, and the people flanking by the sides. So we didn't carry team spirit and put it here. It's because it's a central midfielder. Team spirit, understanding, continuous development, fitness, and then we have the strikers. Strategy and technical crew. All of this is how you can help a couple design their dream team. And honestly, we are going to teach you how to do all of this and the kind of conversations to have with them. And at the basic alone, and this is not me just calling figures. In fact, when I call it, my people will say, Dima, please, that is so low. But I can tell you, if you master this strategy, the lowest deployment fee you can charge to deploy this for a couple is a 250,000 naira. That's the lowest. And I'm not kidding. That's the lowest per couple. When PF was launching his book, Unbroken, and I was saying 250, they were like, no, hey, no, please, I cannot do this for 250. It's 500. I say, calm down. Even for beginner, person will just start. And not only am I saying the monetary aspect of it, it is that when you help them build these structures and create this framework for them, they have something with which they can run their families. So, you see, the blueprint edge says, I can't agree less to this arrangement. I know, the arrangement was intentionally researched and distributed. It is based on research. It is based on studying marriages of people who have done marriages for over 40 years, 30 years, sitting with interviewing them to know what has made this marriage work. It is based on studying the dynamics of family science. That's how the strategy template was created. And that is why it is as strategic as it is. Okay, so what will FSC do for you? Family systems engineering. You will discover your engineering system, and you can also re-engineer yourself to become happy once again. You would master how to become a professional family life practitioner who can solve complex problems. You understand how to use family systems engineering tools to accurately diagnose marital issues in less than 20 minutes and prepare professional reports. You will learn how to run basic family life therapy. You will also get some insight on the business of family life. Of course, you will become certified to work with every culture with tools that are globally relevant, and you will belong to a new tribe of lovers working together to create a new continent. And before your brain starts to do to with the lovers of humanity, before they would say for FSC, we they pay ourselves up. You know, this generation, the way you interpret English is different. So we are a tribe of people who love God, who love humanity, and are working together to recreate the continent of Africa, especially through effective family systems. Okay, so we're back to questions. And you know, answers are hidden in questions. So let me ask you this almighty question. What will you do differently to build the family life practice of your dreams and help humanity create long-lasting transformational changes? Talk to me. Indeed, strategy. Honor says very powerful session. Thank you. I need your answers. You have spent 2 days with us. You have listened to the challenges that you are having, starting from yesterday. And today, we continue the conversation. We left you yesterday with helping you change your limiting beliefs and putting you in that trajectory to begin to think of the kind of practice you want to build. We put you on that trajectory to begin to imagine what is currently stopping you from doing work at that capacity. And today, I took you through looking at the different laws that you need to activate. So my question at this point is, what do you need to do to create the family life of your dreams? Obi, the replays are on the iFed Academy YouTube channel. So when you go to the YouTube channel, you can watch the replay. Lara Johnson says, educate myself, be full of knowledge that will bring results. How? Tell me what you would do differently to educate yourself. Obeoluwa says, I am willing to invest in myself. How? What will you do? Action steps. Self-education, blueprints. What are you self-educating yourself? How will you self-educate? What will you do? What is the immediate action steps you're going to take from tonight? Kamsi, gain more knowledge and be audacious. From where? Where are you going to gain the knowledge? Okay, Obeluwa says register for the program. Korede says invest time, effort, and money into the FSC program. Okay, go in for the program as fast as possible. Register for FSC. Let me tell you what you can do. If you want self-knowledge, self-education, you want to be able to grow your knowledge skill to do transformational work where you can troubleshoot, interpret, and build systems. Our goal is to produce competent family life practitioners that humanity deserves and assist them to become highly profitable across the globe within 3 months. Because the Family Systems Engineering Certification Program is a 3-month program for classwork. Then after the 3 months, we also assist you within another period of time to do your field work. And the beauty about this is that we don't just put you in class and then we are teaching you. We also assign mentors to you in groups, not one-on-one mentor, please. For somebody who will misquote me and say I didn't get my one-on-one mentor. No. The class is divided into groups, small units, and each unit has a mentor. So that not only what you're learning in class, your mentor is with you in your smaller groups to ensure that you master it. So you see how I was asking you, oh, I want to gain knowledge. I'm saying how? We have designed a how for you. You show up for the class, we are training you, we assign you to a mentor. The mentor is holding your hand to ensure that you master the practice within the time that we have with you. So let me share first of all the streams before I tell you what we are doing for you. For this year, we have 2 streams left. June diet is starting on June 6th. First class is holding on Friday next week, June the 6th. Then the last batch of this year would happen in September, starting September 19th. But for those of you who are here that want to join us for the training in June, we have something special for you. Ordinarily, to take this FSC training with all of what we have put inside, the classes, the pre-recorded modules that you have access to for 1 year, your syndicate mentors that is with you to ensure you master the approach is going to cost you about 600,000 naira. That is the regular price for this course. However, for those that are here, you have 2 offers you can take advantage of. Either you want to pay full payment one time, we are knocking off 60,000 out for you. You can pay at once 540, it is okay. Or you want to do instrumental payment and pay 150,000 within 72 hours between now and 72 hours is on Wednesday or Tuesday, which one? If you pay your 150,000, you can join the class. You can join June class starting June 6th with a first installment of 150,000, and then the remaining balance, you break it up into 3 installments. But to join the class of June, you can make a payment of 150,000 within the next 72 hours. So you have details there. I'm going to pause right now, and I am here to take questions for the next 5 minutes. So if you have any questions, maybe around FSC, what it covers, how the class will run, any question you have, or even any question concerning what was taught yesterday or today, either the session taught by PF or the session I taught, share your questions. I am equipped and ready to answer them. And I look forward to seeing as many of you who have decided to change the trajectory of your business this year. So it's time for Q&A. Let me go to the chat room to know if I have any questions. Okay, so the first question has dropped. Are the classes fully virtual? Yes. So this is how it is run. When you sign up, we give you access to the portal. These modules have already been pre-recorded and uploaded in the Institute Learning portal. You're also going to get, at sign up, you will get your timetable so that you know the module to be reviewed for each class. You also get access to the learning portal. Like I said, all of the modules have been pre-recorded. There are certain modules that you are expected to watch before coming to class. Classes hold on Fridays, 7 to 9 p.m. Nigerian time. These classes are also recorded. And even if you miss classes, you would have access to the recordings. And it is fully virtual, so you can participate from anywhere across the world. Any other question? Caesar says, thank you for the eye-opening presentation. I've changed. I am glad that you found it impactful. I look forward to seeing you in class so that the change can be, continuous. Do you have questions for me? Even if it was when you were doing your belief change yesterday and you got stuck somewhere and you want clarity, ask me the question. I have some time with you to answer your questions. I could give you direction. Is it something that had to do with your personal commitment letter? Something came up for you, you don't know how to navigate it. That's why I'm here. Or you tried to do something daring to in a new belief that you created yesterday, but you got stuck. You want to ask me a question? Fire on. This is a rare opportunity because after tonight, if you want to ask me a question, you will be paying some cool money to get my attention to speak to you even for 15 minutes. So better capture it right now and ask all your questions before my time is up. Thank you, Pastor Roslyn. You want to join the class, you don't have money now, you have to save. I get that. So you need to start saving, and we are here. The Institute is there, IFED Academy. If you want to pay in installments, as I said, you can also do that, okay? Gracious is saying, are there special offers for September? You want to join September batch, and maybe you are occupied for June, you can still take the offers. Either you pay the one-time 540 and just let us know, oh, I'm doing it for September, or you pay your installment of 150 towards September, that also works. Okay. Yesterday when PF was teaching, he gave us an illustration and he showed a lot of us are judgmental. How can we get out of that judgmental space as coaches? So can I assume that the illustration he gave you, was it where you were asked to talk about the people clothed differently? Because if you don't, what illustration? Let me go back to my slides. So if that is it, how to change whatever judgmental perception you have of people is to learn how to relate with human beings. Is to understand that human beings are first whole before something distorted their wholeness. And that is all part of what this training will do for you, because you're going to get skills to understand human beings, to profile them out of your judgment of them, either based on looks, based on the words they speak. To really understand the real human being, you need to understand what has formed the person. And so that is the learning that you need. Yes, the prostitute, you judging the person by just what she's doing, by just how she's dressed. Do you know what has formed that person? And how do you know what has formed the person if you don't understand the different things that may alter a person's personality? So it's part of what we train you in FSC. You get to understand quantum reality. You get to understand human engineering. And that is what is even the main focus of the training, family systems engineering, to say what has made a human being created like this to be acting this way. We give you tools to go to their childhood. We give you tools to go into how they were raised, how they were formed, how society has shaped them. Because until you understand that, you continue to judge. So my answer to your question, how do you stop the judgmental thing, is to learn how to understand human behavior, is to learn what formed people, is to learn how to help people heal so that they can become their true self. And it's part of what this course will teach you how to do. How soon can one begin to practice professionally after finishing the course? You begin to practice even in the course. Because when we are training you, after the 3 months training, you go through your field work. During your field work, there are things you are expected to do to showcase your professional practice. So even that field work is already professional practice. So that's why I said, even whilst you're training, you begin to work professionally. Okay, and then when you complete your certification after your field work, we certify you as a certified family systems engineering practitioner, and then you can scale up your work. But you have field work to do even whilst you're in class. I haven't been on social media sometime except WhatsApp. How will that be sorted? What do you mean, ma? There's no magic on going to social media. I don't know if it's a ma or sir, permit me. Or Bafemi, if you want to be on social media now, you will be on social media. You go to your preferred social media, open a platform, and begin to say what you want to say. So there's nothing stopping you from being on Facebook. There's nothing stopping you from being on social media. So how would that be sorted? Is to grab your phone, is to say, this is my name, and to announce, oh, I have been off social media. Now, I want to showcase my skills as a family life practitioner, and I choose to showcase my skills here. Follow me on this journey as I will be sharing with you insights to blah, 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 blah. And voila, you are on social media. And then as you learn the things that can make you a transformational family life practitioner, you also showcase it there. All right. So thank you everyone for your time. It was nice being here with you. I hope to see you in class. Of course, I will be there on your first day to welcome you in. So this is me, Chidima Nwobi, the Director of Studies at the Institute of Family Engineering and Development, saying you cannot continue to do family life practice the way you're doing it. Otherwise, what you are unconsciously saying is, I want to continue producing the level of results that I am producing. But if that is not what you want, then you need to do something differently. And the family systems engineering course is the first step to that difference. Over to you, Juwon.
Wow. Just wow. Thank you so much. Please. I need applause in the chat room. I just need the applause in the chat room. Come on now. This has been enlightening. It has been impactful. Coach Chidima has poured herself out, answered all your questions, giving you all the time that, giving every question the time that it needed. So please let us just be appreciative. Please be appreciative. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for your time. Okay, I'm seeing, who's not a nice thing? Okay, all right. So the ball is now in your court, because really you've heard all the things that you need to hear tonight. So what are you going to do with it? Intention is not the same thing as action. I intend to, if I want to be nice to my spouse, it's all in my mind, it's all an intention. Whatever that I do, my behavior is what she says. So I can't say, and I wanted to get you the gift. You didn't get me the gift, basically. So I want to do this, I want to do that, I want, all I want. What decision are you going to make? Some of us made this decision some years back, and we know we are better for it today. So whatever needs to be done, whatever you need to do right now, please make sure you do it in the next couple of days and get signed up. If you're really passionate about this, I think she talked about some PFs, passionate and frustrating, and passionate and fulfilling. Which one do you want to be? So the ball, again, is in your court. And on that note, we close tonight. Thank you for being part of this conversation. Again, you can get all the details from the chat room. The course costs 600,000 Naira. If you're going to pay, if you attended this webinar, you're going to get 6,000 Naira discount. So take advantage of it and make the decision that you need to make. You can make this, you can take the right step today, and posterity will thank you for it. And you will even be grateful that you took that decision. Everything is an investment. Everything is an investment. You invest your time to the things that matter to you. You invest your money to the things that matter to you. If you're not investing your money, it means that it doesn't really matter to you. If it matters to you, you will make the investment. Okay, let me not do too much talk. Tima has done all the talk that needs to be done. So thank you for joining us. We hope to see you in class June 6th. Yes. Look forward to seeing you. Have a good evening and have a great week ahead. Bye. Korede, I want to see you in class. So you can all this your fine face and use your smile. Bring it to class. We need men like you. We are not plenty. What was that song? We plenty for there. Us guys are not plenty in this industry. So I can't be seeing your face now and not see you in class. So please make that decision. I'm on your matter. All right. Good night, everyone.
I'm on his matter too, because the way he was just looking at my mouth.
You need to use this fine face to come and be impacting life, as in to change families.
I'm on your matter, because they look me, they nod. I say, hope this nod. You are nodding your way to class. Not you not finish.
It's the two of us now. You see? The pressure is getting wetter.
Jumo, bye-bye.
Good night. Yes, I can't wait, man. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you, admin. Have a good evening. Great week ahead. God bless you.